Hey guys, Adam Trigger here, WagerTalk. Here to bring you a college basketball free pick. But first, a couple of specials. It is Tuesday. That means it's $5 Tuesday. That means my 4% best bet for today, one of them that is up on the site for just $5 all day long. You can get that 4% college basketball, just $5. And then you can also get my full season, still up at a discounted rate. Comes out to about $2.50 per day. For every basketball play I make from now through Championship Monday in April, a fantastic value, up right around 50 units in college basketball the last 2 years, and right around even so far to start the season. So hopefully we get it going this week and get into the profit in college hoop, which I fully expect we will do. All right, today we're talking about Kentucky and Lipscomb, and the first thing I'll say about this matchup, the only reason I'm not going to bet Lipscomb here is because I like this Kentucky team. And if you listen to me, so last week I cashed two 5% max bets in similar scenarios. I had Hampton plus 22.5 against Providence, and I had Monmouth plus 21.5 against Rutgers. And one of the things I mentioned there was, I really need to have a good reason to not only back the team, the 20 plus point underdog, but want to play against the team that's favored. And that's what this play is missing. I don't really want to go against Kentucky. I'm kind of buying Kentucky in this 3-0 start and their win over Duke. If you follow social media, you've probably seen a couple clips of Mark Pope sort of coaching his team up at the end of that Duke game, make the rounds. Outstanding call by him to double Cooper Flagg. He basically called out exactly what was going to happen, that Duke was going to go ISO with Flagg to double, try to swipe at the ball, get the steal. And that's exactly what Kentucky did on their way to a nice upset win over Duke. I'm buying this Kentucky team. So I'm not really trying to go against Kentucky just yet. But if I was going to bet this game, the only way I could possibly bet it would be to take the points with Lipscomb. And the reason for that has nothing to do with Kentucky. It's that I think Lipscomb is a quality basketball team. I think Lipscomb is the team that will ultimately win the Atlantic Sun. And I think you might be getting a little bit of extra value here with Lipscomb because they've played a very difficult schedule to date. Duquesne, Wofford, Arkansas, Belmont, and Western Kentucky. Those are the 5 games that Lipscomb has played so far. So 2-3 is really not a bad record against those 5 opponents. They won on opening night as an underdog, came all the way up to Pittsburgh to play Duquesne, had a nice win over Wofford. That was a pretty convincing win. Arkansas game was, kind of just whatever. I didn't think they were totally overmatched. They ended up losing. I don't think they covered. That was also off the heels of that Pittsburgh trip, so we'll give them a break there. And then, losing to Belmont, no real shame in that. And then losing on the road at Western Kentucky, no real shame in that either. So I still think Lipscomb's a very good team. And their 2-3 start is just a result of playing tough competition. And obviously they're going to be up against tough competition here. But this game has less to do with Lipscomb being able to win, more to do with Lipscomb being able to hang around. I think they can probably hang around here. So the one thing, my kind of like overall case with Lipscomb, they're going to score a lot and they're probably going to give up points. That's kind of the MO on this team. I've actually been more impressed with their defensive effort than I thought I would be. They in the wins over Wofford and Duquesne, I thought the defense was very good. And Western Kentucky was a game played in the 60s, so no real issue with the defense there. But this Lipscomb team can score. Jacob Ogunsevic is averaging 20.9 points a game so far this season. You've got Will Pruitt and Joe Anderson are 2 guys that'll be within the top 10 players in the Atlantic Sun this year. But there's some depth that Lipscomb did not have in their first couple games this season, and that's why I think you can start to maybe look to bet on this team, especially after not covering a couple in a row. Because Lipscomb started the year without some of their depth pieces. So Dylan Faulkner, who was a projected starter for this Lipscomb team, did not play until their 3rd game. So he didn't play in the Arkansas game, and he didn't play in the Duquesne win to open the season. And then Kellen Boylan, who was a guy I was really excited about for this Lipscomb team, transfer from Air Force, someone that I thought would maybe contend to be a starter, would at least probably be the first person off the bench. We finally saw him appear in a game, albeit, kind of like a quick shift against Western Kentucky. So that's really encouraging, in my opinion, that he even got on the floor because, of course, he had been MIA to that point. So, in my opinion, Lipscomb can only trend in a positive direction. And that's sort of how I look at this. You talk about a huge spread, a 21.5-point spread. I calling for a Lipscomb win it would be tough. I don't think that's how you really handicap these types of games. It's, the way I look at these and what led me to winners last week on Hampton and on Monmouth was over the course of 40 minutes, do I see more competitive minutes than non-competitive minutes in these matchups? And I think here the answer for Lipscomb is yes. I go back to that Hampton game against Providence, 22.5-point favorite. They had a lot of competitive minutes in that game. And what that means is they were able to withstand the inevitable bad stretch that's going to come being a road team against a massive favorite. So they were able to sort of withstand that negative stretch. Monmouth was able to do the same thing. They had their bad stretches against Rutgers where Rutgers was able to open up a lead, but they're good enough to play enough good minutes to stay within the number. That's kind of where I'm at with Lipscomb. I think Kentucky could have their stretch where they end up sort of being, really good, maybe breaking this game open. But Lipscomb has enough talent and enough scoring, in my opinion, to be able to withstand the bad stretch. I think the ceiling for this game is Kentucky in the 20 to 25 point range. It'd be really, really tough to see them being able to win by much more than that. I've got this number right where the market has it at 21.5. So that's what I made the number. So I'm not really seeing line value in that case, but I do see reasons to back the Lipscomb side. So for a free play today, we'll go with Lipscomb plus 21.5. I think there's more scenarios where Lipscomb ends up on, losing this game by 10 to 20 than there are Lipscomb losing this game by 20 to 30. And the final thing I'll leave you with here, I do think it matters that Kentucky just knocked off Duke. If Kentucky doesn't bring their A game, they're not winning this game by 20. I'll tell you that much. It would take an A-plus effort from Kentucky, in my opinion, to beat a quality team like Lipscomb by more than 20. And again, it's very possible that they don't have that coming off of such a monster win over Duke. So Lipscomb plus 21.5 is the free pick. Check out my page, WT.buzz at WT.buzz/8T for $5 Tuesday, a 4% play up for $5. Follow me on all platforms at AdamTriggerWT and like and subscribe to the WagerTalk YouTube channel so we can continue to bring you free picks all season long. Good luck on Tuesday night betting college basketball. We'll see you guys next time.